Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True.
Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
Oh, man, guys, how you doing? Welcome, everybody, tuning into the Tim Black at Night Show. How you doing? What's up to my people on Facebook Live? Give it up for people on Facebook. What's up, Facebook? Woo! My people on YouTube, how you doing, YouTube people? Good to have you in the house tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. YouTube, baby, YouTube. Yeah. Oh, man. Everything is Russia these days. Boy, everything is Russia, man. Just rushing. Heck, I'm rushing to get on to another subject. I'm rushing to get beyond talking about Russia. I'm rushing to get away from this fake news. I'm rushing to get into tonight's show. Russian. Everything Russian. We need to get rid of our Russian salad dressing, our Russian dance moves. You know, the one where they kick we get rid of everything Russian. Drag it out of here. Oh, man. So you know what to get your mind off Russia? I got a suggestion. How about you be downstairs in your office working on whatever you're working on. In my case, working on, production. And have your daughter run to you and say, Chase never came home. How about that? You're downstairs, you're working, and your daughter tells you that your youngest son never came home from school. Oh, yeah. All of a sudden, ain't nobody thinking about Russia. No. Tim Black was up and down the street. Chase! Playing CSI. Heart beating fast. But got to be cool because your daughter, you don't want her, you want to scare her, right? So, you walk around, walk a couple blocks. Chase! Looking around. Chase! Some little kid heard me, right? Some kid, I don't know what kid, some kid heard me, started answering me, being funny. Yes! Not you! Chase! Walking around, looking for him. Can't find him. Circle back and go back. You go back in a situation like that, if you ever been in one, what's going to happen is you're going to go back. Can you guys hear me? They can hear me. You go back to your house, right? And you're thinking, okay, I ain't going to trip because I know by the time I get back to the house, he going to be back at the house. Oh, man, he going to hear from me. Get back to the house. And that's when it starts sinking in because you get there and they say, you didn't find him? No, I didn't find him. Okay. It's getting serious now. It's been over an hour. Been an hour since you've been looking. So now, shit got serious. Right? So now you're thinking about, okay, am I going to call the police? Am I going to call the police now? Is this real? Okay, am I going to call the police? So while I'm figuring that out, I go look some more. Gotta go look some more. Dad gotta go keep looking. Chase! And while I'm patrolling, walking different blocks, I see this toy. Like one of those Nerf guns, those big orange guns that shoot the little projectiles. Obviously a toy gun. Big orange, yellow play gun, right? I see that on the ground. I'm like, why is this little kid's gun laying on the ground? it looked like an expensive toy. It's just sitting on the ground by itself, by the curb. I'm like, why is this gun sitting here? So, I'm looking. Remember, my son's been gone over an hour at this point. I'm walking around, and I'm like, okay. So in my mind, I put this together. This is a scenario I paint. My son and some kids are playing with the guns. Right? They're playing shoot with the gun. And some guy drives up in a van or something. And he grabs my son. And he drops the gun. Because there's no way 8-year-old, 9-year-old kids leave a Nerf gun, a super soaker Nerf gun, whatever, just laying there. So now I'm really tripping, right? Now I'm like, screw everything, Everything. So I walk around some more. I do a couple more. Chase! I'm serious now. I'm serious. I ain't playing with you. I go back in the house. So it's been an hour and a half now. Wifey not home. I don't want to call her because if I call and tell her, she might wreck the car trying to get back home. So I say, okay, well, it's time to call the police. Because you start thinking, you start remembering how it's so important if your child gets abducted in the first few minutes, you got to contact somebody, like the sooner the better. Like the sooner you let them know, the better chance recovery of your child. And all this is going through my head because it's like really like, I'm in denial, right? Like I'm in denial, first of all, Facebook. I'm in denial because I'm like, this can't be happening. This ain't real. Here I go. I'm going to call these police. I'm going to waste their time. They could be doing some real police work. They're going to have to come here. Then I start thinking, I'm going to end up in the system. They're going to be like, well, you can't take care of your kids, Mr. Black? Maybe we can come check on you. But I'm like, forget that. Who cares if they do that? I'm a good dad, so, we're a good family, so I ain't got to worry about that. But it was there, though. And then I'm thinking, this can't be real. Because if I make that phone call, this becomes a real thing. Then I start thinking, like, when I was a kid, I remember putting my parents through all types of crap. Like, wow, did I ever do this? Nah, I ain't never do this. This is horrible. I never do that like this. Did I? So I'm outside. I'm on my phone. And my daughter walks up. And she walks up. And she has with her Chase. He's walking. It's him. He look fine. His head's down. Because I guess he realizes, I'm sure he realizes he in trouble. And they walk up, I get to where they are, and I got tears in my eyes. And I just tell him, go in the house. Just go in the house. And I look at my daughter, and I just hug her. That's what I do. I just give her a hug. And I tell her how much I love her. Because I know she's blaming herself. Because she gets him off the bus. She makes sure that he gets home, So Chase is home. He's home, he's safe, he's home, he's safe. And, but through this whole thing, through that whole ordeal, all the drama, all the emotions, the denial, the fear, the anger, the frustration, I'm actually walking around thinking about if I see somebody with my child, I'm going to kill him. Like, I'm looking at cars as they drive by, they're like, I know they're like, who's this strange man peering in my window like this? This man is crazy. Let me get away from here. But through all of that craziness, up and down the block, round the other block, Chase, through all of that I was going through today, the whole ordeal, all because Chase wanted to play video games with his friend without telling me or anybody. I never one time thought about Russia. Didn't think about Russia. You know what else? I didn't think about Putin. I didn't think about Putin. Not one time. I swear, not one time. Not one time. You know what? I got to admit, I did not think about Trump's tweets. Nope, didn't think about them. At no time did I have an urge to run home or to run on my phone to check and see what Trump was tweeting about. And then it hit me. It's like, there are people every day who go through all types of things. I'm talking real life stuff, not fake stuff. They go to real life things. The child goes missing or the car gets repossessed. Somebody gets a test back from the doctor, right? And the results aren't good. Somebody can't pay tuition. Somebody need to come over get something to eat because they can't buy nothing to eat and the stamps of the check didn't come through or the electric off. Or the water might get cut off, so they had to choose. And if you cut the water off, that means they might take your house. So you let the electric go. Or every day, somebody gets a note home that their son or daughter got shot in a country somewhere over there somewhere. And every day, somebody's daughter tells a mother or a father that some guy did something to her, or took advantage of her. And every day kids are coming home and they may have got bullied at school because they're a little different. It's every day. And what I'm saying is every day there's real life stuff going on in the real world that affects real people. And it's got nothing, man. It don't have anything to do with the bullshit they talk about on the constant, day-to-day, every minute, every hour, every episode, every segment, every time you cut on the TV, the crap they talking about don't affect the lives of these people. Most of it. And when it does affect your life, it's not to help you. It's to glue you in, suck you in. It show you a sad story, to pull you in, just to get your viewership. And it's madness is what it is. Utter, complete madness and selfishness and corruption and greed and crafty and strategy, strategic craftiness. It's a scheme. It's a setup. We don't care about those things, those news items. Like we care about what happens in our lives, like the real stuff that affects people we care about. And for some reason, the mainstream media, these people don't get that. Because maybe they don't have the same problems we have, man. And for a minute, I remembered that I'm not them. I'm jumping up every day to do these stories. I got 10 of them right here for you. I ain't like these guys, man. I got real life stuff. I got real life, just like you do. Now, I work as hard as these people. Oh, yeah, I put the time in. I work as hard as those people on the TV and on the cable news. I work as hard as them. Probably 10 times harder than I think about it, because they just shoot their stuff. They don't edit it, promote it, set up shows, be on Facebook, be on Twitter. They don't do the stuff I do. And I'm reminded of that every day, and I'm reminded of it especially today when I was going to talk about Russia and all this stuff, and frankly, it just don't matter right now. But you know what? Even after going through that emotional roller coaster, even after that, having a drink, yeah, I had a drink. I said, you know what? I don't feel like doing a show, but I'm going to do a show because I tell y'all, this ain't my show. Now, don't get me wrong. This is my show, right? This is my show, y'all. Right? It's my show. But Friday's not my show. Fridays is your show. Fridays is your show. And I ain't under contract, but I'm under commitment. So, I want to thank everybody who saw my tweet, who hit me up like, Tim, everything cool, everything okay, hope everything's fine. I want to thank you for caring about a brother. And just to let you know, I'm so happy it turned out the way it did, of course, obviously. And but in a way, I'm thankful that this happened when it happened, because I'm home, I'm there, I'm able to reinforce, hey, you know the rules. You know your mom told you what to do. I told you what to do. It's what you do. So I'm here to reinforce that so this will never happen again. But it's also good to put it, things back in perspective a little bit. Because when you got all this going on, you got all these words, letters and stuff. When you got all this stuff going on, you forget sometimes a little bit, about what's important, what's real. So, I don't know, shout out to all the people out there who dealing with some real stuff. You know what I mean? Shout out to the real people out there that got some real things going on in real life that don't concern Russia and tweets and Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Ward staging a revolt. Or why Mike Pence use an AOL account? It's real talk. I really don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like talking about any of this stuff. I really don't feel like. I'm looking at it. It's like, anti-Jewish bomb threat suspect. You hear about this guy? Oh, piece of work, Facebook. Piece of work this guy is. Asshole. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he quit The Apprentice. Here goes something, guys. How can you quit a job that they weren't going to extend a contract to you for? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you going to quit a job that they're going to let you go from anyway because the numbers suck? I guess that's like, your girl going to break up with you, so you break up with her first? You know about to have that talk? Women, you know that talk? Nah, girls do it. Girls break up with us. Women break up with men more often, so yeah, it works the other way better. Uh-oh, she about to, we over. Trump accusing Schumer of Putin ties. It's funny. A lot of Democrats met with Putin and met with not only Putin but Russian ambassadors too, by the way. But nobody cared about that. That don't matter. A lot of uranium was sold to Russia. I know. It's nothing. I know. It's no big deal. We don't care. Boycott. Yeah, I know. Boycott. Why are you boycotting it? Because they like Trump. Oh, okay. What's wrong with Trump? His policies are horrible. Oh, so it's a policy reason. Okay. I thought you just didn't like his breath. No, I don't like his policies. Okay. Which policies don't you like? His immigration policy. Oh, okay. and you boycotting that store because you don't like the fact they like Trump, and you don't like Trump's immigration policy. Is that right? Yes, yes. You sell out Tim Black. Okay. Well, that policy of deportation was done very well under Obama. Did you boycott stores that supported Obama too? Just checking, because you said it's about policy, not about Democrat or Republican, right? So if it's the policy, it's pretty much the same policy that was implemented last 8 years. I'm just wondering, where was the boycott when it was being done in mass, like in the millions? And don't get me wrong, I saw a video of a father being arrested by ICE, and he had his kids in the car, and it was horrible. It was grotesque. It was horrible. I had listened to this baby cry through the whole video because they taking her father away, who's been in the country 20 years. 20 years. So I'm not saying we shouldn't be upset about that. I'm not saying that's not disturbing. I'm not saying that is right at all. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I'm not a hypocrite because I'm mad about that, but I've been mad about all this shit for the last 8 years. Meanwhile, you've been chilling because the guy you saw up there was so cool. And I just found a problem with that. But hey, what the hell? In Chicago, man, they're not just getting their guns from Indiana. They're getting them off trains now. Some guns be covered off trains, like they break into the trains and stole some guns, a lot of them. For all my Trump fans out there who say he can do no wrong, he's doing what the people want, he's cutting a lot of money from the EPA that has to do with your air and your water. Can we hear you now? Can we hear you now? No, don't care. Don't need water, don't need air. Yeah, okay. MAGA. 3 teen girls kidnapped by a Salvadorian gang in Houston. MS-13. They killed babies. They had a satanic ritual with one of the babies. Are they on the list? I'm really wondering if I have the temperament to go to calls. I'm really wondering, do I have the temperament for a call? Yeah. Facebook, I don't know, man. Maybe it'll cheer me up. But see, now that I said what I've been through today, the first of the calls is going to be tough, I tell you guys, we I don't know, man. I want to be optimistic about this stuff. It's hard to be optimistic. It really is hard to be optimistic, man. They want war with Russia. At least they want to pretend like they want war with Russia to get money, I guess. That's it. Not I guess. I know it's got to be money related. It's always money. Everything is money related. Everything money related. It's either hate, racial hatred, or, I don't know, orientation hatred or whatever. It's either fear or money. And I don't think we're scared of Russia. How can you be scared of a country that your military is so expansive? Like America spends more on our military than the next 7 countries combined. Why are people still thinking we don't have we don't have a domination of military force? Why is every election it's the same thing? It's the same stuff. You hear the same talk about how we need to beef up this. It doesn't matter. We could, and that's what the EPA cuts are for, because We frankly need more guns. We need more bombs. That's what we need. And the reason why we really need them is because we keep messing with people. So we got to have them now because, like, we done pissed so many people off that it's like, well, we kind of in a situation. But, I mean, I want to know why we spend 7 times more than anybody else and we still got to keep spending. Like, if you buy a gun, is it good next year? I mean, what's the expiration date on drones? What's the and whose job is it to maintain this stuff? Like, what the hell is going on that we can't have clean water and our air got to be dirty, right? Which is giving us cancer and all other kinds of diseases, right? But we have money for bombs, though. Because if we don't, then somebody going to come get us. Like, I'm trying to figure it out, man. Is this a pimp game or what? It's a pimp game, man. Where's my budget? Where's my budget? Where's our money? Where's our budget? That's what I keep hearing from, neocons, neoliberals. Come on, man. Isn't that what Lindsey Graham and McCain want? They just want the whole world. They just want all of them, everybody in America over 18, just go to war. And McCain will be happy. I think McCain just wants us to fight. They just want a war. Every country, every situation, McCain wants us to go to war. Every time. Bon Kim. What's up, brother? Oh, man, Bon Kim. Give it up for Bon Kim, y'all. Wow, man. Bon Kim, man. I got you, Bon. I got you, brother. Thank you so much, Bon. Bon Kim just made a donation via Super Chat. Big donation, too, man. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Yeah, what was I saying, man? Yeah, why do we need so many guns? Why do we need so many bombs? I just feel like we're getting pimped. I feel like it's all just a rules just to get more money out of us, to feed these defense contractors in order for somebody to get paid. I mean, come on, man. I remember Blackwater. I remember the payoffs. Rumsfeld. Come on, man. Rumsfeld, that dirty bastard. You see what I'm saying, guys? And it's like, what happens to the people that wake up? Like, what happened to all of my Republicans who woke up under Bush, who realized what was going on? Like, you had to realize this guy that he was horrible, right? Like, you had to realize that, right? Like, we get that, right? And then the Democrats, they don't realize that Obama was horrible, all the stuff he did. It's like, I'm wondering where all the woke people, like, they didn't just start woke. Like, I woke up Obama, and then Bernie really woke me up. Like, Obama shook me when I saw what he was doing. But remember, I was coming out of the Democrat fog, I was still watching MSNBC, but I still knew something wasn't right. Because I'm like, I go on the internet and see all the countries we bombing. I'm like, what? Then I had somebody hit me up on Twitter telling me about deportations. This was last year. So I was new to what, I was becoming awake. Like I was, kind of waking up. And then when Bernie came and what they did to him, that just totally woke me up. But I'm just wondering, like, where's everybody else? Like, where are all these other people that are woke? Because unless you're brand new to this, you have to see it, right? Like, you have to see, like, haven't they heard us talk about these issues for over and over? Like, how much more? How much more before people just come out and say, you know what, I got you, I understand it. And when we going to stop being divided over, like, parties and just accept these guys are screwing us up? And they're doing it for money. Like, it's the strangest thing, man. It really is the strangest thing. I'm not going to say I got it all figured out, man, but God, I'm just wondering why these people go back to sleep. How can you? Going back to sleep after finding out all that you found out, it's like my son missing, let me just go in the house and just watch TV. You know, like, who can do that? It doesn't, I don't know. I guess, like I said, they focus on real life issues. So I get it. I get that. I understand the people who don't know at all. You know, the people that are focused on real life, so they don't have time to be focused on what our military is doing. They just hear a buzz. They see the thing, and they trust the news. All 20 of those people, whoever those 20 people are, they just hear that our military needs more money, and they just go, well, give it to them. And I understand why they think that way, because they're imagining young men and women in harm's way without what they need. Right? Like, that's what they see in their mind. When they hear that, when they hear like Fox News say that, they're just thinking it's people who didn't ask to go somewhere, but did it for their country somewhere without what they need. And that should be the first thing we do, is take care of that. So I understand that. And that's why we shouldn't demonize those people. But the truth is, how much of that money really goes to that? You know, and my thing is bigger. It's like, why don't we just bring them people home? We're not accomplishing anything by bombing Yemen. We are bombing Yemen right now. What are we accomplishing? What are we accomplishing? We're just killing. I'm sure the civilians, like, did the whole country leave, and only people that stayed is ISIS, right? That's it, right? Everybody else left the country, so no one else can be hurt except ISIS, right? Like, does anyone believe that? We listen to sound bites. Because we don't have time. We're too busy. We got a child that didn't come home. We got a car that don't work. We got a car that's being told we don't know how we're going to get to work tomorrow. You know, they got some layoffs planned. You know, like, so much is going on. And then we just see this little blurb and we go, you know, and we just agree or disagree with it. And I'm not saying that we should I'm not saying we should forget these people who don't know this stuff. What I'm saying is we got to keep reaching them, because I want to have empathy for those people, you know, because we're the woke people. So I'm not here to sell you on we're the resistance or none of that, right? I don't, you know, that's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm saying is I just want us to always look at what we're up against. Because, like, I was thinking about my issues, you know what I'm saying? And those other issues that other people go through, there are people going through stuff, and they're not thinking about this stuff either. So we're the people that are informed, and it's the duty of the informed to inform others. And I do my best job, man. I'm not a newsman, not really. You know that. You know, I do my best. I give commentary. I give opinions. You know, I read something, I try to digest it, and I try to just say, like, what I feel about it, and offer an opinion based on what I know about the subject. You know? Like earlier today with Mike Pence, guys, you heard about Mike Pence? You heard this, right? Mike Pence had the AOL account, so I mentioned it earlier. There are people that are equating Mike Pence's email using a personal email account and his government, you know, his governor email, whatever. They're comparing that to Hillary Clinton only using her personal email account. And it was in her house. Like, They see no difference. Because I guess if you're told a certain way and you don't have any information, you just believe it. And, like, it sucks, guys, because I'm not a Mike Pence fan. That's another thing about what I do. It's like, I'm not a Mike Pence fan, right? It just creeps me out. That's before policy. Then when I look at, like, the policy sticks in my head about transgenders and stuff, and, you know, we got to have a better way of dealing with people than just saying these people are horrible and throw them away and get them out of society. Like, that's, you know, like, I'm up for a conversation about how we deal with bathrooms, but America's always been real funky when it comes to bathrooms. Like, blacks can't use them, Mexicans can't use them, Jews couldn't use them. You know, like, it was like all this bathrooms, women couldn't use them. Like, bathrooms have always been a thing. And I just feel like at this time, like, I got to say, you know, I really don't care who uses what bathroom. But the thing about Mike Pence is it's not the same as what they're comparing with Hillary, you know? It's not. And I know it's not. And I think most people would figure it out if I told them the reasons why. But it's like I can't reach enough people to tell them that. And it's not, and it makes me feel bad because I don't want to speak up for Mike Pence. I do not. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. I don't want to speak up for him. Problem is, truth is truth. The truth is the truth. It's just the truth, guys. That's it. You can't get away from it. So the truth is, it's not the same thing. It wasn't his own server. It was on an email. It was on a server in a company, corporate office with staff and guards and with protection and software, and you know, it's not the same. And he wasn't Secretary of State. He was a governor of a state. Wasn't like the most powerful person on the planet when he did it. And he did, and no one subpoenaed his email. And like then, you know, before he gave it to him, deleted 33,000 of them or whatever. Like that didn't happen. But it's like trying to get that out to the world. Like it's not the same. It's not the same thing. It's hard. It feels like it's not enough. I feel like I can't do enough, guys. I can't do enough to get the message out. And gosh. And I don't know what people would do with the information, but at least they could say, you know, it's getting really creepy because it really seems like they're trying to take out this administration. Like they're really, like I've never seen something like this before. And some people must be really pissed off right now. Because, like, they're just going crazy. And I'm thinking the average person who's got real life stuff going on, they kind of ignore it for the most part and just go about their real life stuff. And then every once in a while they look over and they go, hope they don't blow the world up. And then they go back to dealing with real life stuff, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like they go back to working and taking care of the kids, or, you know, trying to do whatever they're trying to do, trying to have a new baby come home, or all the stuff they got to do, trying to get the roof fixed, or trying to get the car up, you know, like all the regular stuff that people do. It's like when you're trying to get information out to people on these issues, like all these issues, it's like I just feel like like you're on a boat and it's taking water, and somebody gave me a Tim Black mug, and I'm just scooping water out. You know? I feel like that's what I'm doing. It's like, you know, pretty soon it's not quick enough. It's like I'm just going to drink the water. That's what I think. So I'm going to go into the calls. I want to give a shout out to my folks, man, my people. Michael Trim. What's up, Mike Trim? How you doing, brother? Ryan Hughes. Give it up for Ryan Hughes. Give it up for my friend Trudy Caswell. And give it up for my friend Bon Kim, who we're talking about creating a PAC to support third-party candidates, and we'll tell you more about that in the future. Bon Kim. I figure if people pay attention to me, I might as well use it for good and try to help be a part of something that makes some change, because I want to do more than just talk And I got to be here so I can talk about that, and I can help promote what they do and what's going on and some initiatives that matter. Oh, give it up for Lee Camp and Sherry Hunkala, who was on the Lee Camp Redacted Tonight show. I love seeing one thing about Lee, man, is he's a real guy, man. So I appreciate Lee Camp, and I love that when I have somebody on, he has somebody on, I try to get him on, and I appreciate that he brings people like Sherry on, guys, you know, and that he does that. Someone told me recently, they said, Tim, man, you know, stop shouting people out because nobody shouts you out. And then I heard Michael Trim shouted me out the other day, so another shout out for Michael Trim. Go watch the Michael Trim show, guys. Go watch him. All right, guys, I'm going to try to take phone calls. All right? Let's do that. Let's do it. The phone number is 319-527-6212. What a day. What a day, baby. What a day. Hey, you're live on the Tim Black and Night Show. Who's this?
This is Thomas Salmi from Lansing, Michigan. How are you, Tim Black?
Man, I'm good, brother. Good to have you.
I'm glad to hear that your boys are home and safe.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I just want to comment about the Democrats real quick. I mean, just when you think Democrats can't get any more obtuse to their ridiculous situation of their collective failures, they elect Tom Perez. That sparked a progressive Dem exit round 2. So now they're looking at getting all the progressives out of their party because of who they elected for the chair position, and they just refuse to learn from any of their past mistakes. They just keep on going on the same path, and they just don't realize they keep on making the same mistake. It's like they're you know, doubling down on and increasing levels of made-up BS, which somehow they keep on quoting CIA or FBI quotes of the most ambiguous nature. And I just heard recently there's a senator, a Democrat, who called for a vote or a resolution to officially make the DNC leaks an act of war by Russia. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't understand why they don't understand why they lost. And they keep doing the same old thing. That's my thoughts for the night. One love, Tim Black.
Hey, you got it, brother. A lot of love to you, my friend. Great point. Wow, I hadn't heard that. An act of war, huh? An act of war. All right, guys. Before I go on, before I go to the next call, which I'm about to do in a couple seconds, I want to give a shout out to Bonnie Davis. Thank you, Bonnie, for contributing to the show. Jenny Lynn. And I'm going to keep coming back. I'm going to keep shouting out, folks. If you don't want to give via Super Chat, go to Tim's Take 2. You can give to Tim's Take 2 on PayPal. Tim's Take 2. Or Tim at TimBlackTV.com, either one. They want war with Russia. It's kind of funny because their kids won't go. You know? And even if their kids do want to go to Russia, look, man, come on, man. No one's going to Russia. You don't go to Russia to fight. You understand what I'm saying? You pick war with Russia, there is no war. There's just no war. There's no war from that. You know why? Because that's it. Like, that's it. So it's stupid. It's more than stupid. It's just, it's game. It's all game, right? Next call. 917, you're live on Freedom Friday. Who's this?
Yo, T Black, it's your boy KJ from Bed-Stuy.
KJ in the house, man. What's up, brother?
Yo. Let me tell you, man. I heard about your situation. Glad everything worked out. This week had a rough patch myself, not to go into details, but I'll bet you every single one of your listeners probably had something go wrong. There's something, I don't know, Mercury in retrograde, something. But I just wanted to, they say politics is showbiz for ugly people. So right now, these people are just all going at it like they're on the latest soap opera. And all of this Russian talk has gotten me thinking, I said, well, Tim said he wants to be cheered up a little. Everyone's probably had a crazy week. I know I did. So all this talk about the Russians, well, this is all I got to say. This is the only Russian. This is the greatest Russian ever. So, Tim, enjoy.
Love it. KJ is a crazy guy. I love you, man. Hey, you're welcome to Freedom Friday. You're live. Who's this?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Tim. It's Bon.
Hey,
Sometimes I
Bon.
don't
What's
even
up,
know
man? How
I'm
you
on.
doing, brother?
Hey, just hope you're feeling the love tonight.
Yeah, man. No doubt, brother.
Everybody's happy to see you on Friday. Freedom Friday. Sorry, I can't get it right. You know what it is?
What's up?
I watch a lot of different shows on YouTube, and I was watching Andy Worski, and him and another fella, they just kind of really diss on other people who are stupid on like YouTube, and they were doing a live thing, and it's like people were just rolling in like $100, $200, $50 for them, and I'm like, dude, Tim doesn't even get stuff like that. So tonight you're gonna get stuff like that. So you should be getting things like that, not people that just kind of go out there to entertain and be popular, right? You're people that tell the truth aren't popular. People that aren't doing entertainment for other people aren't popular. But what you're doing is getting people out there. You're driving political movements, whether you realize it or not. And there's big movements going on. I get inspired by you. I get inspired by Sam Ronan. I get inspired by Kenneth Maija. I get inspired by Cherry Honkala. And, I'm waiting and, trying to do stuff. It's like, okay, so I get in there to help out, and then I realize, you know what? It's almost like running uphill battle, right? I don't see how that's going to work because everyone just kind of has conflicting strategies. So I'm going to try to throw my head into the ring and try to help out. And, that's all thanks to you and everyone else. I didn't think I would do this at my age. I'm like 38. But, people who are 25, you had Kenneth Maija yesterday. And he turned down a 6-figure job at a hedge fund, a big hedge fund.
Yeah.
And it's like that's just right there. It's just inspirational. I'm loving the younger generation right now, and I hope they move everything forward to make everything better. Because I'm serious. I'll take the accountability because my generation failed. So I'm going to help them out as much as I can. Anyways, that's it.
Perfect,
Hopefully
brother.
more people call into your show.
Hey, thank you, Bond. Perfect, my friend.
Bye, Felicia.
My man. I appreciate you. Shout out to Rappin' John. You got to call up and rap sometime, John. And shout out to Julie. Mr. Kokada.
What's up, fam?
What's going on, man? How you feeling, man? What's up?
I'm feeling all right, partner. You know what I'm saying? Glad your little man's all right.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I don't know what our politicians is doing other than trying to give everybody a heart attack. Other than that, I mean, not for real, because I mean they're too wishy-washy with anything they say for people to take them serious. And I don't know if that's part of the plan, or if they're really just that dumb.
It's people taking it serious, man. There are people taking it serious. There are people writing me, telling me that they're afraid, man. Some people take this stuff seriously. They do.
I mean, I believe it. Yeah. But I mean, as far as like me, it's like sometimes I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing? And then other times I'm like, okay, I got to take a day off from this.
Yeah. You know, I feel you on that.
I don't know if they. I mean, I kind of agree. I kind of agree with I can't remember the dude's name now. The caller said that like they're trying to sabotage. I can't say it's sabotage because they don't. They weren't right for the job anyway. Trump's administration, but it's like it's all out war.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird, ain't it?
Yeah, it really is. Like, y'all put them in there, then y'all just ripped them out. Like, why'd you put them in there in the first place? It's like one big reality show. Like, all y'all need to sit down.
Strange, bro.
I just hope we can get through without them making a war. Like, I hope the other countries just look at this like, all right, they just talking shit. You know what I mean? Like, let's hope they not trying to mess for real. That's all I got, man.
It's all good, brother. I'm glad to hear your voice. Glad to know you're good, man. Thank you, my man. And we're
you
hanging
too, bro. Much love, man.
Much love, man. Hang in there, brother. We're gonna both hang in there together. $812, you're live. Who's this?
Tim Black.
What up?
How you doing?
What's up, man? How you doing?
It's Fred from Indiana.
Friend from Indiana. I got a lot of friends from Indiana. Who's this?
Fred.
Oh, Fred from my friend Fred. What's up, Fred? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I don't want to take up too much time. I'm enjoying the show like hell. But you mentioned something about collecting for midterms 2018. DraftBernie.org. Nick Brown, he talks about getting some strategic progressives funded by the people in for the 2018 midterms as part of the Draft Bernie organization. I wasn't sure if you had gotten time to go to the website and check that out or not. And then also brandnewcongress.org.
Right.
They're doing both Republicans and Democrats funded by the people.
Yep. Bipartisan.
Yes. And, oh, my God, that guy from California was awesome last night. That's a throw-in. Last thing. The establishment is going nuts. There is an all-out campaign. There is not a single shred of evidence that Russia had anything to do with the elections. Nothing to do with the hacking, with the emails. H.A. Goodman talks about it all the time. There's no proof. Even the reports had disclaimers on them. The Security Council reports. It's just insane. And they're doing it as a distraction. We have to concentrate on issues. Issues over politics.
Yep.
All the rest is just chasing our tail. They're distracting us, keeping us off balance with all this BS, and it's driving me nuts. So just get rid of the trash and concentrate on our issues. You know what we need: $15 minimum wage, single payer medical care, pay equity, criminal justice reform, end to mass incarceration. You know the list. Appreciate your time, Tim. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Fred, my brother. You know it. $479, you're live on Freedom Friday. Who's this?
Yeah, what's good, Tim?
What up?
So, I have a bunch of things I want to talk about today. You ready?
3 minutes. Pick your top three.
Okay,
Pick your top three.
Well, first of all, this is Matthew from Arkansas.
You know I know you, Matt. You've been calling up for 2 years, Matt.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Matt.
Yeah.
I want to break the news to you. Okay, so I took a GED pretest here recently because I just turned 12. I passed every part of my GED, and they're setting me up for a possible pre-college courses with ATU, Arkansas Tech University. So looking forward to that.
Wow.
The way I see it is that the way things are going right now is, first of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about fake news. With fake news, what they're doing is actually, well, from a standby point of view, they can feed false information to people, and then when those people are not paying attention to that false information, which is being provided by big sources, they don't really notice the smaller sources. And that's what I mean by, and if you want to control someone, the first thing you want to do is get them to believe something. You need them to believe this against someone else. Like, that's like accusing someone of saying bad things about someone else. That way that someone else won't like that someone.
Right.
It's a very good way to go about things if you're looking to manipulate someone, and it will work with large groups of people. Now, with the whole DNC leaks and everything, I feel like they're over-pushing it. A call for war by Russia would be really irrelevant, and I feel like that's not what it was at all. So, no real point on that. So far, the points on what he's done in his first couple of months and whatnot would be, I don't know. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give him a 3. No, that'd be way too high. We'll put him at maybe a 0.5. But he's done considerable things that would be considered unpresident-like, which at his speech last night, his presidential address, that was an okay event. But just overall, he's not made the best financial decisions. And he claimed in his campaign he was going to drain the swamp. But I want you to think, if he drains the swamp, what's he going to do? Is he replacing it with other people that are just as crooked as the ones before it? So in a way, he's not really draining the swamp. He's just replacing the people that are in it.
Oh, man. Matthew, you are
what?
You are a fun person to have call my show. A great listener, a great contributor to the show, and I just want to say, man, I'm very proud of you with the test you took, and I just want to wish you the best, young man. You go get them, and you keep on listening, you keep on talking, and keep on going farther and farther, brother, because I believe in you, young man. I mean that. Get your own YouTube, man.
You keep up the good work, Tim.
I will. Get your own YouTube. Do you have one?
What?
Get your own YouTube.
I do, but I don't post on it that much.
You need to. You're funny. Take care, brother. Take care, young man. He's funny. He called it a couple times with some jokes, and he had those in there. But young people are listening to what's going on. They're listening. They're paying attention to this stuff. He knows policy better than some 50-year-old guys I know. Heck, 30-year-old guys I know. Seriously. I'm not even making that up. I'm not shining you on, Sonny. Real talk. All right. 650 Hey, 650, you're live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Tim Black, the real Tim Black.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. It's Dr. Bruce calling in. I don't get a chance to call in often, but I'm glad you're doing well. I wanted to say a couple things real quick because I'm, just like everybody else, a little irritated with the whole Russia thing. And the thing I have to point out to some of my so-called Democrat friends is that the Democrats right now with this whole Russia thing, they're just bringing us that much closer to World War III and nuclear war. And people lose sight of that. And I remind my friends of that all the time, that's, this is all politics, but there's some seriousness, a lot of seriousness behind it.
Absolutely.
And there's two things to say to them. First of all, for those who love Obama, and a lot of my friends do, I'm like you. I agree with you, but a lot of my friends love Obama. Okay, good. What did Obama say to Romney during the debate? The 1990s wants their foreign policy back.
You sure
but
did.
Suddenly now it's convenient. We're going to bring Russia back into the picture. Everybody remembers that quote. That was a big Obama lover. They all remember that quote. They just don't want to remember that quote. Yeah. Because it tells them that this is all a bunch of hooey. And the other thing I remind people about is Sony. All my friends agree that Sony is not quite as important as the DNC and John Podesta. But when Sony was hacked, Obama was all over the place condemning officially. Other government officials were condemning, and we had all the proof we'd ever want.
True talk.
So this is just really, to me, this is just ridiculous, frustrating, and I agree a lot with Matthew, who's wise beyond his years.
Yes.
And I think everybody should go back and reread. When Matthew was talking, it reminded me, we all need to go back and reread 1984 George Orwell, because that's where we are.
Love it. I love it. 1984, guys. Dr. Bruce, man, good to hear from you again. It's been a while. I'm glad to know you're doing well, too, brother, and I thank you so much for your comment. Yeah.
Just working too hard, but it's always good to catch your show. You do a great job, and just keep it up, man.
I will, brother. I will. Thank you, man. 270. You're live with Tim Black, Freedom Friday. Who's this?
It's Tim.
Hey.
Hey, this is David Duke from Indiana.
David Duke from Indiana. Not that David, but another David Duke. What's up, man?
How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I just wanted to call in and touch base, and seen you were a little overwhelmed this evening when you started.
Yeah, a little bit.
The thing you can do, man, is just hang in there and tell who you tell. You can't change everybody. Not everybody's going to listen.
Yep.
You just keep your nose to the wheel and you keep going. The ones that come around, come around. The ones that don't, they get left behind. That's all I got for you. Have a good one.
My man. Give it up for David, y'all. David's right. I know it. It just gets, it gets tough, David, because you think, because I think the people are being lied to. You know what I mean? So, it's something Matthew said. You said something, guys. I don't know if you caught it. I caught it, but I got so wrapped up in congratulating him and thinking, hey, this young man's got so much promise. And then also equating him, thinking my son's 8, he's 11. So that messed with my head a little bit. But when he said how they demonize someone, they tell you bad things about them, and then that'll justify anything they do to them. And he could do that with large groups of people. And what Matthew said is so true. That's what we've been doing. Like, that's what the systems have done throughout history. Hitler did it with Jews. He demonized them first. That'll desensitize the populace, the masses, to what they do to them. You can't skip. You gotta go in order. Right? You gotta go in order. You know? They did the same thing with blacks, Africans. Demonize them first, say they can't learn, they're lazy, they're prone to caprice. I think that's what Dr. DeGrew, Leah Leahy said. I think that's it. Leary, Ms. Leary. I think that's what she said. And they put it in books. They said black people couldn't learn that they were violent, that they were stupid, and they were going to rape your women. Meanwhile, it was the slave masters doing all the raping. But they had to make the average person like be okay with other people losing their humanity. So they do it, you know. So when I see, that's why I'm always conscious of when they're talking about Muslims, right? Because it's the same thing can happen. It is happening. It is happening. You know, when Mr. Kokata said, "Oh man, I hope they don't take us to war." Man, we already at war. We just don't hear about it because it's not here. It's somewhere else. You know, when I hear him talking about undocumented people and it's starting to demonize them, looking at the stories that are coming out, I'm like, okay, this is getting like, because it doesn't take much for the propaganda to get in some people's heads, and then you get some crazy vigilante just running out. So, anyway, that's what I think, guys. 770. 770, you're live with Tim Black on Freedom Friday. Who's this?
What's up, Tim? This is Dave from Stone Mountain. How are you?
Dave, what's up, man? How you doing?
Well, I was just thinking, you know, I called last Friday and I was talking about who the free press really are. And, you know, the free press is only somebody who can call things how they see them. When you got a corporation giving someone $100 million, it's just their voice getting heard. And see, that's not what the free press is. That's not what CNN and them are, but you are. The free press is what you do every night on Friday at 9 o'clock. I mean, that's what the free press is, where everybody's voice gets heard. So I just want to congratulate you on that. And I was thinking about the kids that hear you just letting everybody say what's on their mind. You know, that's teaching them what democracy actually is. That's the definition of democracy. Everybody gets a voice. And that, them seeing that is probably one of the things I don't think we think of enough. And you're not the only person. A bunch of people do it. But you guys, the donations are great. Support independent media. But you can go farther than that. You can organize people online. You can talk to 50 people online and come up with $250 and say, hey, do a 5-minute segment on this, my man, and he'll give his opinion, I'm sure. Or talk to 5,000 people online and come up with a few $1,000s and say, hey, man, where do you need to go? And that's how you get involved. And that's it, Tim. I'm going to get out of here.
Hey, Dave, man, my brother. I appreciate you, Dave. Thank you, man. Thank you. I try to, you know, I always been real amicable, man. You know, like I always, I don't know, man. It's just my nature. You know, it's not me. You know, when I hear people with different opinions, I don't immediately, you know, want to just shut them. I don't know why people are like that. Like, why would you want to shut down conversation? You know, first of all, from a business point of view, if you're a business person running a show, you should want more people. But it's like it's the opposite. I'm like, why would you want to shut out conversation like amongst everyone? But it's like, no, Tim, you need to focus. You got to focus on this little group. That's what you do. So I know I'm working against myself, but I don't care because I like having different opinions. I like KJ calling up. And I like Matthew calling up with his different opinion in. I like that, you know. I like Dave calling up and, you know, Fred calling up. I like different voices. 410. 410, you're live with Tim Black, Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hear me.
Hey. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm sorry, Tim, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Tim?
Yes.
I'm sorry, this is Ron McMillan. Man, how are you doing, brother?
What's up, Uncle Ron? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fine. I had, I checked out Facebook today instead of YouTube first, so I had to give a shout out to. First of all, I got to give a shout out to this guy named Tim Black. This guy is just tremendous. It's amazing the things that he comes up with and the hard work he puts in. And I think everybody needs to give Tim Black a hand. Yay, brother.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Ron, man. I appreciate you, man.
I tell you, sometimes I think that you are my long-lost brother. Everything that I was listening to your content this week, I can go back to, Van Jones and how he was getting kicked across the table because he speaks with a little bit of common sense. And I heard so many things this week about the guy from, I guess it's a Democrat in state of West Virginia. And he went to a town hall, got his butt chewed out by the people, and then he decided he was going to say, hey, y'all, go ahead, run against me. You ain't going to beat me. I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do, basically.
Wow.
And this is a Democrat who basically votes Republican. And your heartfelt show earlier this week about should you or why you single out, or not even single out, but the fact that you and those like you on TYT Politics and H.A. Goodman and Debbie Lezignan always keep reminding people that no matter what the Republicans are doing now in the form of one Donald Trump, it's been going on for decades under Clinton and Obama. It's been going on. And that young man who called a few minutes ago, that young guy from, I think he was from Arkansas, he said it. He said, you keep telling the people stuff, they start to believe it. That's what all this Russia is all about. Russia, 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 Russia. What is the ruse? Russia is the ruse. We are not going to fight Russia. We're not going to do it. What it does is it causes enough snow jobs to go around. Just like the gentleman before said, we're already in 8 wars, 7 wars. We're already bombing 7 people. So if you keep talking about Russia, all the other countries don't matter. It takes them and makes them, oh, that's just a little skirmish over there. We really got to increase our military spending by 15% so that we can fight the Russians. Ain't nobody fighting no Russians. Nobody. I did that thing. I got duped into it out of college. I was over there in Germany with all the tanks. I know what it means. We're not going to fight Russia because they're not coming to attack us, and we're definitely not going to go in there. It's all a lie. It's all a lie just to beef up the military spending. And, I listen to these Republicans, and they keep talking about, oh, we got to cut entitlements. Entitlements are self-funded. When are people going to realize that? Medicare pays for itself. Social Security pays for itself. It's not a budget item that is funded by taxes. You know this. Steve Grumbine told us this. When they want to pay for something, Congress just prints the damn money. They print the money. So I guess a long story short, Tim, you're fighting the right fight. Just like my man Dave from Stone Mountain said, you are the free press. You are the free press because the stuff on television is paid and bought by the corporations. They don't report news. It's all propaganda to get the people in a frame of mind. That's what it's all about. Get them in a frame of mind. And the Democrats, they're not stupid. They're not stupid. They're just arrogant.
Yeah.
They're trying to beat the Republicans. They actually think that Tom Perez is the future. They think that they're going to get half of the independents to come back because they made Keith Ellison a deputy leader. Come on, he ain't doing nothing. He doesn't have a function. He doesn't have a function.
I gotta look.
They're not
leave
doing anything. I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta leave it there, Ron. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you, and you ended on a strong note, man. And look, it was one point I wanted to make, and it slipped my mind because you made another good point. Now maybe it'll come back to me. But when you just brought up Keith Ellison's deputy, how many of you used to watch Fred Sanford? Remember Fred Sanford, Red Fox? Of course you saw it. You big dummy. Right? My guy, right? So, what was Fred's job? What was Fred's job? Remember Fred, what his job was? He was coordinator. Coordinating. What you going to be doing while I'm working, Pop? I'm going to be coordinating. I'm going to be over here coordinating. That's what I'm going to be doing, big dummy. You know? And that really was nothing. He didn't do nothing, right? Fred didn't do nothing. He did nothing. That's a double negative. He did nothing. That's what his job was. Keith Ellison, ladies and gentlemen. Fred Sanford. Coordinate. Oh, man. All right, next call, man. Oh, boy. That was Uncle Ron right there. 404. Hey, 404, you're live.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, who's this?
Hey, Tim. It's Ariel in Atlanta.
Ariel from Atlanta. Loving it.
How you doing?
I'm good now. What's up with you?
It's great to hear you. Great to hear you. I'm so sorry you had that terrible scare with your kid.
Thank you,
I definitely know what you're talking about when you talk about how real life intervenes. And when that's going on, you're not thinking about any of this other stuff. My dad is, of course, he's still struggling with the cancer. He's had colon cancer for over almost 4 years now. Hard to believe. And he had a pretty major surgery a few weeks ago, so he's still really recovering from that. And it's huge stress and huge things. And, you know, when those things are going on, not only does it take your mind away from the big stuff that people say is so important, but it gets you right back down to the brass tacks of what is really affecting yourself and everybody every day. And those are the things that we stray away from way too much. And I'll tell you, I understand that feeling, the scary stress, because me and my mom, we've been living it every day for quite a few years now. And I'll tell you, all of the, and I'm sure I'm not alone here, it's very depressing, the whole climate, you know, of politics and the mainstream, and it's just a bunch of garbage. We know this. It's all BS. It's just a bunch of freaking bread and circuses. And it's hard for me to keep listening to a lot of it. You are probably the biggest reason I'm aware of anything, because you know how to deliver the truth with a lot of humor and levity and, you know, realism at the same time. So thank you so much for being there, because you're pretty much my only thread right now. I literally have gotten to the point where I can't listen to most of it, and so you're it these days.
Well, look, sis, thank you so much, and I appreciate the kind words. You hang in there. I'm hanging there. You hang in there, too. We'll both be hanging in there together.
We're praying for you, Tim. We all love you.
I love you back, sis. Thank you. And give a shout-out to Ariel's father, too, y'all. Send our love to
thank
him.
you so much.
You're welcome, sis. Shout-out to AC Yor. AC Yor. Brom SL1. And before I go to the next call, I want to give a big shout out to my friend Anomaly. Anomaly, right? Look at this. You know I had Anomaly on the show, right? Rapper. He did a Bernie song that blew up, went crazy. and he's like a humanitarian. Check the channel and just search Anomaly Tim Black, and you'll find our segment. So, we talked. He's like, he wants to come back on the show or whatever. I'm like, yeah, sure, man, no doubt. It's just like me. I'm always like so busy. I got scheduled. I'm like, this week I got Kenneth Mayha. Next week, Sam Ronan's coming back. Okay, let me try to position how I'm going to do this. Okay, I can do maybe I can do a Thursday. So while I'm doing all this, right, Anomaly texts me on Twitter. He says, Tim, is it okay to use one of your videos? It's like, sure, man. Just put a link in there about my video somewhere, and that's good. I always think the more awareness, the better, right? So, and this is on Facebook, not YouTube. Can you believe this guy put me in a video that has over 5 million views? Come on, man. 5 million views in a couple of days. Like, I had 2 million in the first 24 hours. And he put in a video like, this is Tim Black. This is Tim Black's thing, what he thinks about this. He puts my clip in. It's got my name on it. Then he's got a link in the description where people can come find my website or find my YouTube or find whatever, right? So, man, he's just a really great young man, and I appreciate him for thinking of me. And just give it up for Anomaly one more time, man. Thank you, Anomaly. And you will be back, brother, no doubt. And you're in good company, because I'm bringing nothing but great people on this show like yourself, and you'll be in great company. $562, you're live with Tim Black on Freedom Friday. Who's this?
What's up, Tim Black? This is Marvin from California.
What's up, Marvin? How you doing, man? What's going on?
Oh, I'm doing well.
90 seconds.
To give a quick little update, I told you before, my sister, she's progressing well, very well. So she's doing well. I just wanted to pass that on. And then as I was, when I was in the queue waiting, I heard about the scare you had, and I never had anything to that level. But
60 seconds.
The store, when they're toddlers, a couple of times they done ran around to a different aisle, and I wasn't paying attention, and then it's a panic. Excuse me, it's a panic that comes across that's indescribable. When you think your child is lost, and it's like nothing else. So I feel for you, bro, and I'm glad everything came out fine. I actually went back to the Twitter and saw. So what I actually called to say is, man, I'm not in the greatest of situations right now, but I love the fact that I have time to spend, or time to donate to my daughter, my youngest daughter's school. We went
10 seconds.
Her class had a field trip today to Cal State Long Beach with a couple of other classes in the school, and I think a couple of other schools as well. And these are fifth graders about to be going into sixth grade next year, and taking them to the college, and it was a cool thing. But I just like the fact that, like I said, I'm not in the greatest of situations right now, but I like the fact that I have the time to be there. I remember when I was a kid going to school, my moms would come and help out in the classroom, and that made me feel like, man, So, I ain't got nothing in the political thing. That's not today. I'm glad you found your son. I'm glad everything came out with your son fine, man. And like I said, my sister's doing well. I had an awesome day today, with my daughter, and I know she always loves the fact that when I can help out or go on a field trip, I like it when men can get out and do stuff like that. I mean, and I'm a brother, a black man, so I love it, especially too when black men can get out and do that with their kids, with the school. And if for whatever reason you can't, I'm trying to represent and show that black men is involved with their kids and black men is involved with their children's education. And that's all I got to say. Have a great weekend, Tim. and to all the wolf pack.
No doubt, man. Give it up for Marvin and his sister, man. And he's doing his thing, and I appreciate that, man, big time, man. I do. Yeah. You know, that thing we were talking about where they paint a group of people a certain way, you know. Got to be careful of that, guys. You just got to really be careful of it, you know. Next call. Let me keep going, man. I don't want this phone lines to cut out on me. 205. 205, you're live on Freedom Friday. Who's this?
Hey, Tim. It's Steph from Tennessee.
Hey, what's up, Steph?
Hey, I was going to ask you that. Hope you're feeling better. Yeah, I understand why you'd be kind of... I had that the other day where I was just like, what's the point of all of this? Like, you do the activist work and still it doesn't seem to change much. Or it feels that way. You have to kind of pull back a little bit. Or, but yeah, just, we're all here for you, Tim, even when you're having a bad day. So I wanted to talk about, I don't know if you saw it yet, I tagged you in it, but there's something really interesting concerning the whole Russia hysteria. Is I thought of a couple of things. Was like, one, even if Trump and his cabinet were doing some sort of a deal with Russia, how is that grounds for like saying that that's an act of war? Like that, if they did something like that to the GOP, they'd be like, whoa, the GOP is being out of control. We just need to sanction them or something, or take care of the individuals. Like, they constantly have this thing about terrorism where it's like, we need to take care of the individuals, not claim war with the whole state. And this is another nuclear power. It's very reckless, like very careless. I know everybody has said it before. We've all said it, but it's just, you know, it's, I mean, like, I think that they're just getting kind of desperate to have control of the narrative, and it's not working, and they keep trying to, you know, like, buckle down harder on it and try to keep saying it and hope that it works. So, like, people are like, oh, no, you guys are being crazy. And, you know, I wish there was some sort of rule that, like, people who try to instigate war with other countries should be seen as voluntary, like a vocal volunteering to be drafted for that war, because all the people who are shouting for everybody else to go to war are never the ones, I noticed, are hardly ever the ones who are actually signed up to actually serve and go in the front lines. And not just volunteer to draft, but like be in the front line if there's troops on the ground. But the thing I had tagged you and I was going to ask you about was that if you had seen it, is for all this talk about the elections being hacked, quotation marks, and, you know, like trying to convince everybody that they're highly confident and that we should all just believe them. Like, why is the DNC not handing over their server for the FBI to be able to get evidence? And I think it becomes clear when you look at this link that WikiLeaks put up, where the Guccifer hacker, quotation marks again, seems to be from the metadata an inside job from the DNC. Unless, I mean, like, it's just, there's a guy who made the documents, Warren Flood, who is working in the DNC, who 30 minutes after he made them, they were hacked and stolen. And those are the only things hacked and stolen, apparently. So that's like the equivalent of, you know, somebody breaking into somebody's house where a guy wrote a paper saying, here is all the information, people's phone numbers and credit card numbers. I'm going to leave this paper on the table. The credit card numbers and phone numbers are actually like, you know, like, or you know, like the credit cards are on the table. All this other information, valuable information they could get money from is on a table. You know, like there's like tons of valuable stuff there. And the paper he writes 20 minutes before leaving the house is the one thing out of the room the person breaks in and takes. So it's like, it looks like, and then it's also, I mean, you just have to check the documents out because it looks like very suspicious that it was not somebody Russian, but somebody pretending to be Russian who put those documents out. And they weren't even very relevant documents, but it made it look as if, because Guccifer was claiming to have information for WikiLeaks, but they were completely different documents than what WikiLeaks put out later. And that was, if you remember, right around the time that the mainstream media started putting out that, like, where everybody got confused that WikiLeaks got hacked documents instead of leaked documents. And they had to try to clear that up for months because supposedly Guccifer was claiming, I gave them the stuff. And then, but WikiLeaks had announced, like, before that they were going to leak. And Guccifer comes out of nowhere, says it's Russian hacker or Romanian. I'm a Romanian hacker. But you just got to look at it. And then, so there's that that's very suspicious. And then, it's just, we have all these infrastructure problems. We have politicians saying we don't have money to compete with other countries to have public college options. And they just want us to believe this stuff that Russia is doing all these things to us. And it's like, yeah, it's odd that so many members of Trump's cabinet denied talking to Russians and have been talking to Russians. But even if they were, like, they're redirecting, what does that have to do with us? What does that have to do with the things that we need to be happy Americans, to be healthy, happy, prosperous? I mean, if you really want to stop Russia's attempts to, divide and conquer, we should be building ourselves up strong instead of spending more money on military. Like, if they're trying to instigate, if you have a bully trying to instigate, the thing to do would be, just kind of not let them bully, but also not go for it. There's somebody who they try to poke you a bunch. If you punch them, they'll be like, oh my God, they punched me. And all of a sudden they're the victim, it just seems too obvious. And I guess that's it. It's just, I'm just, I hope nobody's buying this. I can't believe that people are buying this. And this is me saying it, suspecting that Trump may have actually made a deal with Russia, probably with Tillerson, but that shouldn't matter, that's not a reason to go to war. So that's it.
Give it up for Stephanie, y'all. I appreciate it, Stephanie. I tell you, man, I know previously in videos, I've like, whenever I talked about the Russia thing and hacking or whatever, anything along those lines, I just say, okay, look, if you believe that, fine. If you believe Russia did it, and I kind of been like just very dismissive with that part of the argument because I don't think that had anything to do with our elections, right? I don't think you could say that if there was a hacking that exposed illegal activity, that the people who exposed illegal activity should be even called hackers. But as of this day forward, I'm not even going to give them that because HA's right. They have not proven that anything was hacked. That's just what they've been saying. And I got tired of arguing with people about it because I'm like, okay, if they were, so what? Like, so what? Like, if someone breaks into your, if someone told you that, like you've been cheated on by your husband or wife, do you really care how they found out? Like, is the information true? Are you really having an affair? Okay, we need to deal with that. But not the Democrats. They just want to, we don't care about the cheating. We just want to know, well, what you doing finding out stuff? Why you exposing the stuff? Because people didn't need to know that. It's crazy. But now that I think about it, I'm not going to let them get away with that anymore. If you have not proved hacking, you need to shut up about hacking. All right? And if WikiLeaks, I believe WikiLeaks is just handling leaks. Hence the name WikiLeaks. It's not WikiHacks. It's WikiLeaks. All right, let me go to the next call, man. That was a good one. WikiLeaks. Oh, man. 971, you're live with Tim Black on Freedom Friday. Who's this?
Hey, this is Ben from Portland, man. How's it going?
Ben, what's up, man?
Not much. Just want to say a few things real quickly here. I think that the media these days, and I guess they're happy to have a superficial discussion, or as usual. And I think that CNN and MSNBC and Fox News, they are a certain thing, and you just have to acknowledge that. And if you consume that, you know what that's about. I think hopefully by now. It's I think we have the power ourselves to kind of change it like any time. So they just have too much power over I don't know, our topics and our feelings or something. So yeah, I mean, they won't let a third party voice or set of beliefs on air without already having a way to knock that down ahead of time. It's just completely their ball field. And I think there's a little bit of distraction with the infighting. I think there's some infighting going on, and the Roman Empire is like East and West fighting. This is just like Democrats and Republicans. It's, I don't know, not to draw parallels there exactly, but I do think that there's like infighting aspect about it that's unhelpful. Or at the end of the day, I mean, it was definitely going on under Obama in a big way, and we were definitely really divided under Bush. So, but a friend of mine told me before that basically the only real revolution is an internal one, and you can't carpet the world. Sometimes you can just carpet your feet. And so sometimes I think we have to like just kind of not let the media or whatever talking points dominate us too much, and not let Trump take the lead all the time. Not just always be responding, but I don't know, take it a little bit differently and realize that we have the power to turn on Tim Black rather than MSNBC. Yeah,
it's real talk. It's real talk, man. All right, Ben. Well, look, man, thank you so much for the call, man. I hope that more people do, and I hope they realize that it's not the end of the world. The world's still going on, man, and we are caught up in the news cycle. It affects people's lives, man. It brings people's spirits down. People are afraid of the future. What they're gonna do? Like what's the world gonna be like? What people truly have anxiety behind this stuff, and they don't care about people feeling that way. They want you to feel that way because then you'll be glued in to their content. And vote for them, too. They want you to vote for them. Don't forget that. You got to vote for them. Or maybe get my cane. Get my cane out. You better vote. Don't boo, vote. Don't boo, vote. All right. Lord. 323, you're live with Tim Black. Who's this?
Tim, you hear me?
Hey, who's this?
Hey, Tim, sorry, I didn't realize I was on. My name is Joel, and I'm a big fan of yours.
Joel!
And,
what up, Joel?
Yeah, thanks very much. And, listen, I wanted to talk about maybe posit an idea because I've been studying the media, too, maybe even thinking about doing something similar to what you're doing. And I pay attention to a lot of your friends out there, but I study film at Berkeley. That's UC Berkeley. I live out in California. And a filmmaker named Adam Curtis, who made he's a BBC documentary filmmaker, and he's made some great documentaries like The Century of the Self. He recently came out with one called Hypernormalization. And I don't know if you've heard of the film or not. I know that a lot of people haven't really, unpacked this one yet. It's a 2-hour, 45-minute film about how media has actually been mastered by a lot of the finance and the politics being handed over. It's a really fantastic film that explains the nature of our kind of, I guess, neoliberal nightmare to try to cut through. And maybe some people don't know what I'm talking about, but I wanted to put that out there because, what I can do is also put a link because we can't get this film in the United States. And I know that there's one pretty good copy of it that's available on YouTube. And I'll go ahead and put that in the comments right now if you think that's a good idea.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's, it's funny. There's a lot of people out there that are really kind of suspended in some of these narratives, and I think we can really talk about that. And a lot of films from that, you know, like I'm trying to put together an essay and maybe give something to you, maybe even, you know, think about doing some show if it's appropriate or whatever. But you know, you probably know the film. Like I'm a 47-year-old guy, or I'm going to be 47 in June.
Okay.
So I don't know if you remember the film 3 Days of the Condor, or like Capricorn 1. You know, I feel like lately we're really living in this you know, some of these B film cinema narratives from the mid to late 70s, and I don't know how exactly it's related to this obvious deep state control, but I think it might be helpful for some people to just see that you know, this imagination has already kind of happened, and they could, you know, you know, like there's just a lot of rich content in here, and I'm sorry I'm not used to really putting this out there because I think about it too much, but I wanted to let you know, and I'll go ahead and make a comment right now, and hopefully some people will be interested in that. Oh, it says it won't take any web addresses, but I don't know, is there some other place that I could send you an email?
Yeah, sure, man. Just email me at tim@timblackTV.com, man. And
okay, yes.
Yeah.
Tim at timbblacktv.com.
Right.
And you know, again, it's fantastic. I hope to allow some people to really talk and explore this a little bit more, because we're already living in some crazy version of our own imagination. And since this is coming from some people that are in some, you know, like in deep government charge of all this shadow government crap that's out there right now, then I think it can also help some people to remind them that there's you know, like documents for this already, and how we need to keep track of how they're trying to mind us. At least I would extend that.
All right, brother. Well, look, man, thank you so much for that. Give it up for my caller. And, yeah, man, pursue. I tell anyone, man, put your content out there. You know, like if you have a message you want to get out to the masses and you feel moved like you should do it, just do it. You know, put it out. The name of the movie is Hyper-Normalization, Madden Curtis. And check that out. And it's recommended by a member of the Wolfpack. So give it a holler, guys. Next caller. 704. Freedom Friday. How you doing?
Hey, Tim, it's me, Bruce again from Carolina.
Bruce, what's up, man? How you feeling?
Doing good. Well, doing good in this bipolar weather. You know, Monday it's 50. Tuesday it's 80. You know how it is. Good to hear everything about Chase getting back and safe and everything like that. I'm not a parent, but I know I'd lose my ever-loving mind if that were to happen to me. I'm pretty sure it was tenfold for you, because not only the fact that you're a parent, but, you know, believe it or not, Tim, you're somewhat of a celebrity. People listen to you. People, you know, follow you. People also hate you. So, I mean, I know there's sometimes in your mind you kind of have like that thought of like, well, someone, you know, getting mad at something I said on a previous show or something like that, and decided to, like, you know, because there's crazy people out there, unfortunately. And we're just happy that, you know, everything ended out well in this situation. Number 2, can we get a hand clap for our man Matthew, 12 years old? 12 years old and already, like, getting the G. Seriously, that's our future right there. Loving it. Happy to hear that. Number 3, why is Tom Perez and the DNC playing us like some cheating boyfriend? Like, seriously, this whole Russian thing seems like a scenario where you have a cheating boyfriend and the best friend gets into the cheating boyfriend's phone and then shows you that the cheating boyfriend was cheating. And then the cheating boyfriend's like, aren't you mad at your friend? She totally invaded my privacy. Why aren't you mad about that? Like, dude, we're not mad about Russia hacking. We're mad about what Russia found. Like, if they could get that through their heads, which is the thing. Don't get the banana stuck in. Don't get fooled with the banana in the tailpipe, Tim. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They want to pull the wool over our eyes and make it want to seem like if we just keep saying Russia, if we keep saying Russia did this, if we keep saying Russia, eventually people are going to feel that, okay, they must have did something wrong because we keep saying it. They even push it down to the lower level because this is what happens. You have the politicians say one thing, and then since we all know the entertainment industry only listens to mainstream media, we then have our daily show, we then have our morning show, we then have our evening show, all say the same crap that they just said that they got from politicians, which is just another talking point, which no one cares about. Nobody was talking about fake news when we were out here making it sound like the Nevada convention back during the Democratic primaries was the goddamn Royal Rumble. Nobody was out there saying that, wait, nobody threw a chair, but they kept doing wall-to-wall coverage of it as if something had happened. But nobody was screaming about it then. But now, since Donald Trump has labeled them fake news, and they've dug enough of a hole for themselves for him to at least give those people who have that want for them to be fake news, now they can't get themselves out of it. And unfortunately, one thing that I know about the media also is that they're like dogs in a park full of squirrels. And Donald Trump just let loose a bag of squirrels in the damn park. Because every week there's a new story, and then CNN and Fox are like, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Meanwhile, this dude just spent $10 million in a month going back from the White House to Mar-a-Lago. You know how much it costs to keep Camp David open for a year?
Wow.
$8 million.
Wow.
Yeah, but yet we're talking about Russia. We need to figure out what Russia was doing. Russia. Another thing, we need to be happy that Hillary didn't win because this is the same woman that had the hubris to think that, well, maybe if I elevate Donald Trump, it'll make it easier for me to win. Do you not think that when we had literally NATO and our people at the border of Russia sitting there waiting for Hillary to become president, you don't think she would have thought to herself and had that same hubris to be like, maybe I can take Russia?
Damn. Wow.
That's what I also... So, that's all I have to say, Tim. I'm happy that Chase is back. I figured I'd drop a little, bend a little bit, and you guys have a good Friday.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. Wow. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. People forget. But you know how it is, man. They look upon what they love the idea that Hillary could have been president, and they just out of hand say, we would never have these problems under Hillary. No, you probably never know about what problems you had under Hillary. See, it's the other way. They wouldn't have told you anything that Hillary ever did. Good points, good points. All the callers, good points. That's the whole queue. I cleaned the queue, guys. I love when I can clean the queue. You know what I'm saying? Give it up for all the callers, every caller, every commenter. Entitlements. Good point was brought up about entitlements and how small that is. Of our budget, what we spend. Forget budget. What we spend. Entitlements is a slither. It's nothing. Entitlements. They shouldn't even call them entitlements. It should be it's citizen, the least we could do. The least we could do. That's what they should call it. It's the least we could do. In the very least, seriously, it's the very least we could do or would do. But see how they demonize the people, They demonize thing again, make you think negative stuff about the people, who may be affected, that may actually need something from their government. Horrible. When they made that statement, do not ask what the country could do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Hey, that was after the country gave them, like, land. Like, provided them stuff. Back then, school was free. There was no college to go to. Was there a college? Probably was. I don't know. I don't know this stuff. I don't know. Some history buff tell me. Don't ask what the country could do for you. Well, do they have tax? Rich country like this, we should be able to send people to school. We should be able to do that. At least community college. You should at least be able to get community college. But we say, well, a high school diploma ain't nothing no more. It's like high school diploma is like elementary school. Like that's what it's equated to now. So if that's the case, okay, well, shouldn't we have to give our young people more schooling? If we want to prepare them, like, shouldn't we have to prepare them? No. We shouldn't. That's crazy talk, Tim Black. That's crazy for you to think that. This is crazy. Great stuff, guys. Great stuff, man. Let me do some before I go too far here. Bon Kim, you are killing it, man. You know that, right, Bon? You killing it over here. Shout out to the Patreons who's contributed to this show tonight and all the shows that we do. We have 119 people that give to this show on a regular basis. Thank you so much for all you do. I appreciate you so much. Bon Kim says, truth is justice. Give it up for everybody on Patreon. If you are a Patreon, I want to thank you very much for what you do for this show. Because Lord knows you don't have to do it. You'd be like, I got other things going on, and I respect that. But I appreciate you so much. I just want to make sure that I make that clear because Bon's right. There are some people out there who care about this show. So look, guys, I was down, right? Because something happened in my life that made me really stop and really just come out of it, man. I'll do some more stories. I got a lot of videos to do. But every once in a while, it's happened in your life. I'm just like you. And, I wasn't going to talk about it. Well, I had already made up my mind I wanted to talk about my stuff because whatever happens to me, because why hide stuff? That's the difference between this and, I think a news show or a show on TV. This is real life. I want to always be authentic. And I always want to just be myself. So this is really what happened, Why not share it? Somebody could relate to it, and you have stuff going on in your life. So to someone, it may not be the same thing. Maybe a child didn't go missing today, but something else happened, and you're like, we can connect on that level. And I think that's great. I really do. So check it out, guys. So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. While we sit around, those of us, not all of us, those of us who sit around being fixated on this Russia stuff, while it's Russia, and it's the end of the world, and these horrible people did these horrible things that we cannot prove, that we will not give you any proof or any evidence of. We just, these people saying, hey, this could have happened, but we're not sure about anything. That's enough to scare the heck out of you and everybody you know and scare all of you and keep you watching. The whole time that's going on, the reality is somebody's sitting back going,
you gonna eat your cornbread.
All right. It always comes back to the cornbread. Your cornbread is your attention. Your cornbread is your vote. Are you going to keep your vote? Are you going to keep your attention off of these people, yes or no? And that's what they want to know. Arnold Schwarzenegger just quit The Apprentice. He just quit. Because they weren't getting your attention. No longer were they getting your attention. So look, guys.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
I just want to tell everyone that if you decide to break out of the groupthink I don't care who those people are who think that way. There are other people, who think like you now. When you come out of it, there's other people who think like you. You got to find those people. Excuse me. You got to find the people who think like you, who realize this Russia stuff is a hoax, who see through it, and you need to spend time with those people. Talk to those people online, because you don't want to, because if not, you're going to be arguing all the time, because there are other people, man, who just giving away their cornbread. So if you decide you're going to keep your cornbread, conversate with people like you. Don't do what I do. What I do is I challenge it. But see, that's my job. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't recommend it for everybody to do it every day. Like, it's one thing to have one conversation, but you got to admit, it's tiring after a while. People call you sellout, a liar, work for the Kremlin, Putin's your sister or your brother,
Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread.
Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread. Yeah, that's what they want to do. They'll come right back to it. And one of the callers is so right. They just keep saying it over and over. And even people who are resisting this nonsense, they start saying, well, heck, they've been talking about this for 6 months. They couldn't lie to me for 6 months. Yeah, they could. They could, and they will, and they do. So, but in all seriousness, guys, it's up to us to keep spreading the word. Yeah, man. You're online. You're recruited. You're in it. You're in it. You're part of this thing. You're not just an individual. You're online. You're part of this culture, online culture. You're a voice in it. Maybe small, maybe big, but you're still a voice. So we got to keep spreading awareness. Just try to do so knowing that these people are being bombarded with record numbers of BS. So, how they say it, don't hate the player, hate the game. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want us to be toxic to these people. I'm not talking about the preachers of junk. I'm not talking about the preachers of the garbage, right? I'm talking about the people who believe what the preachers say because they've been fed it so long. Because if we turn on those people who need our help, who need the information, if we let it get to us that they don't know stuff and that they're listening to this garbage, if we keep doing that and we keep fighting those people, then what we're going to have is a situation where we get nowhere. And if that happens, well, you know how this goes.
There's going to be consequences and repercussions.
There's going to be consequences and repercussions, y'all. I'm Tim Black. Thank you so much for tuning in to Tim Black TV. I appreciate you. Thank you for everyone who donated to the show. Let me give a shout out to everyone. Bonnie, Jenny Lynn, Papa John, Rappin' John, Julie, AC Yor, Brom SL1, Anomaly, Bon Kim. Shout out to Momo Pineno for the graphic work and all that you do for this show, Momo. Heads up, we got to change the date on the Sam Ronin. He's coming on Thursday. And shout out to my man Iron Man Oz and Broken Carpenter in the house. Shout out to my callers who haven't called in for a while, who called back today. It was great to hear from you. Thank you for coming back to the Wolfpack. I appreciate you. Shout out to Anomaly once again for all that you do. Shout out to Sherry Hankala and Tosi Gabbard. Shout out to Tosi for talking. And I'm going to hit you back, Tosi, about coming on the show, and I hope that I can get you on the show, and I'll work around your schedule because I know you're a busy lady. But we got so much love and respect for you. You have an audience here who would love to hear your side on so many issues, particularly those of national security in the Middle East. So please, I will hit you up, and I hope that works out. I hope we can work something out. That's it, guys. Thank you for bearing with me through a difficult segment, but a heartfelt segment. And hey, this is just real talk. It's just real life. I'm here with you. I got your back. Hashtag Stay strong, stay tall. Hashtag keep your cornbread. Hashtag nobody's taking my cornbread. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. I will see you on the next one. I got a lot of videos to do this weekend because I really fell behind today, but I'll get back on track. So go to YouTube, Tim's Take 2, Tim's Take Live on YouTube to check that out, Facebook. I appreciate you guys. And let's just make sure.
Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Let's not fall for the banana in the tailpipe, y'all. Peace.
Tim Black. Tim Black.
Yeah.
Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
My people on Facebook, what's up, Facebook? How y'all doing? Shout out to Chris Pagani. Ron, what's up, Ron? Uncle Ron, thank you for the phone call. Ginger Liberty, the whole crew. YouTube in the house, thank you so much. Catch me on the next one. You guys are great. We did it again. I love it.